Okay, folks. Let's see. One more thing. There we go. Whew. You know, I use the same parameters every time. You'd think it'd just be able to just like autopilot, like do it. Make it so. Get on with it. Harumph and all that. All right. Let's take my jewelry off. All right, so we've got this Disgustang to work on. I did go grocery shopping today. Go ahead and do the weekly things, and I accidentally bought some things. It's only 2 cars. Okay? Oh, what did... What is this? Oh, that armored car is good. Oh, I like that armored car. The one all the way on the right. Oh, yeah, those are some good cannons, too. No, that's good stuff. Ah, shit. I forgot to go to the game store and pick up the... whatever. I don't give a shit. I didn't want to look at weirdos anyways. So I accidentally bought 2 cars. And here's what I mean by accidentally bought them. I went to Walmart. And they didn't have much. But I saw 2 vehicles that I don't think I'd seen before. I may have seen one of them. So I put them in my cart. And I looked around. And I looked around somewhere else. I spent probably 15 minutes there making sure I didn't leave anything there. And then I left, forgetting that I put 2 things in my cart. And then I was like halfway to the grocery part. And I'm like, I guess I'll take them with me. It's $2. So what'd I get? You don't know what to do with your trailer? Save it for later. That armored car is cool. Which one are you going to work on? That truck? Like that little truck thing? You got several things. Oh. What's a half track go with? All right, so what did I pick up? Gone Mad. This is I guess like a 1950s type vehicle. It's like copper. I'm like, oh, the copper killer. I don't know that it'll be the copper killer. You're promoting killing police officers. No, he's fucking copper colored, man. Chill out. It's a wagon. And then the other one, I don't think I'd ever seen this one before. And this one, I think I had seen it before. It's a custom auto. OTTO. And definitely Gaslands looking. And I'm going to call this thing Evil Auto. You guys don't know who Evil Auto is, do you? All right. Evil Auto Atari. 2600. Images. So there was a game, the Atari 2600, there was a game that I had. I didn't have very many Atari 2600 games. It was a game called Berserk. It was a pretty decent game. You basically went through these boards. See if I can find one of them. They kind of look like this. And you'd shoot, right? And then you couldn't touch the walls because the walls were electrified. If you touched the walls, your little guy go, and you'd die. You'd only, you can only take one hit, and you had to shoot these little like robots that didn't move. The robots didn't move at all. They just had like this little eye that moved back and forth. And they would shoot lasers. And you'd have to take them out. And once you get straight out of Compton, except it's not going to be maybe. And when you get to a certain level, you kick so much of these robots' ass. You basically had to like exit the board. You had to clear the guys, and then you had to exit the board, right? And then when you got really good, there would be this little smiley face that would go bouncing across the board. Okay, bouncing across the board. He could ignore everything, and he just came for you, and you couldn't destroy him. You had to basically like get off the board. So like, let's say you had 30 seconds on this board to clear it, and then he starts appearing. You got to get off the board. And I think the next time you go on the next board, he'll show up in like 28 seconds. So it's like just a matter of time whether he gets you. And yeah, so we're probably going to put a smiley face on him somewhere. It's going to be Evil Otto. He had quite a bit of 2600 games. The one you know what game I was the best at? It was this Activision game called Sequest. You were like a submarine. And there was a thing in the rules, like if you get a score of such and such, take a photo and send it, and we'll give you I don't know what they gave you, but I ended up tripling that score that you needed to get. It was something insane. It was like if they needed to be 250,000, I was like at over 750,000. Like the only one of those video games that I just played the hell out of. Tank game, Dig Dug, haunted house game. I never understood. You're not talking about the fantasy one, right? The Dungeons and Dragons one where you ended up in the belly of the dinosaur of the dragon. You're a little box adventure. Adventure is what it was called. Pitfall. A friend of mine had this game that was based on like Greek myths and stuff like that. I know there was a Minotaur or something. I don't remember what the hell it was called, but we didn't solve it. Weren't able to. Dig Dug looks like a game that's deceptively easy, but for whatever reason, you just get like stressed out really fast and like get knocked out of it. Okay, so these go in the stash. I don't know what kind of vehicle this custom auto is. Auto. It's not an auto. It's an auto, as an Ottoman. An Ottoman. What kind of a vehicle is the Hot Wheels Custom Auto? Muscle car based on the artwork from the original Hot Wheels packaging from 1968. This casting, referred to as the Lost Red Line, in years past was resurrected in 2008 for Hot Wheels' 40th anniversary. The car was created by Larry Wood from original artwork by artist Otto Cooney and named Custom Auto to honor Otto. Harry Bradley contributed to the original design sketch while Larry Wood created a new design for the rear. The Custom Auto actually makes an appearance in the movie film The Christmas Chronicle, in a scene where Santa, played by Kurt Russell, tries to prove to the officer that he is indeed Santa by magically giving the officers toys from his childhood. This includes an original Kenner Han Solo Star Wars figure, an original G.I. Joe figure, a Snoopy astronaut, and lastly a Hot Wheels Red Line era custom auto, more than likely from the 2008 RLC variation. The officer is impressed and confused on how Kurt Russell's character knows about his childhood so well. But for every die-hard Hot Wheels collector knows that the custom auto did not appear in the 60s, 70s mainline, as suggested in the film. See gallery for details. Oh, I guess this is the original one. Haunted Eyes, you're a pair of eyes running around a black screen. I didn't have that game, but that sounds awfully familiar. And it sounds like it sucks. Yeah, I guess Kurt Russell played a Santa Claus movie. I didn't see it. I like Kurt Russell. I didn't see him in a Santa Claus movie. Um, Name an Atari 2600 game that is based on Greek myths.
The Atari 2600.
Oh, shut up. No Escape. I don't think this is it. Let's see if we can see pictures here. Doesn't sound familiar. Maybe it is. In this game, you control Jason, the leader of the Argonauts, who has stolen a golden fleece and must survive the Furies sent by the Olympian gods. The gameplay is a unique twist on a brick-breaking genre. Instead of just clearing bricks, you knock them off the ceiling and drop them on the heads of floating monsters. It's not this one. Definitely not this one. Had like runes or something. God, what was it called? Name of Atari 2600 game based on game I'm going to call Mythology. I don't think it's Sword Quest. I don't think it's Cosmic Arc. I wonder what it was. Well, I'll have to look it up sometime. I remember you like had to go to like one place and you'd find like a rune and you had to go somewhere else and would have you unlock something else, and that's all I remember about it. There was a Minotaur. I want to say it was slightly creepy, but you know, I'm like 10, you know? It's not No Escape. It's not No Escape. I bet it was an Activision game. All right, that truck is fucking awesome. That truck you sent me is freaking awesome. With or without, I mean, just the build of it, the half track. And it's probably like soft plastic, isn't it? Doesn't matter. Olympus TV. Olympus TV. Atari. Olympus TV. Atari 2600. God, what was it? What was the other one? Found it in the garage and it's super cheap material. A little small too, but it'll work. Sure will. Sure will. Do you have the rules? Or are you just building them just to build them? No wrong answers here. Okay, let's finish this. Let's finish this bastard. Let's finish this bastard. Yeah, I was gonna buy spray paint at Walmart, and then you had to get somebody because it was behind a locked cabinet. I'm like, it's freaking spray paint. The kids these days are just a bunch of, used abusers. Users and abusers. All right, let's paint some headlamps on here. We have a few to do. Let's get us a little bit of water. Heavy truck, BFG. Well, you don't have to give it tracks. You could give it tracks but the problem with tracks is it's going to use a build slot, and it's going to give you one more maneuverability, but it's going to slow you down one. And you could just ignore the fact that it has tracks. It could just be, a truck. But yeah, that looks like a heavy truck to me. It's got some serious suspension on it. Okay, we're going to use that one eventually. All right, let's get a little bit of black. Yeah, I had to go to the big city, and I'm just not used to sitting in traffic. It wasn't bad. It's just annoying. It wasn't bad. Yeah, it's actually a really good looking truck. Like the shape of it. And it doesn't look like a real truck, right? It looks like a combination of something else. So that's perfect. I don't want it looks like an Opel Blitz or something. Right? It's just some kind of rando thing, which is perfect. Rando the truck. Yeah, I'm trying to wake up because I'm already crashing. And it's 5. Oh, we got to go darker than this. This is a terrible brush. I can just feel it flexing in hand. Craft smart. The only thing smart about it is you got somebody to buy this piece of shit. You're the smart guy. It's like smart water. No. If you buy smart water, you're not smart. The guy selling the smart water is smart. Super glue doesn't work with this old gray army man plastic. I can see how you did 100 of these cars now. They are. Especially if you have a vehicle that looks like trash. Because by the time you're done with it, it looks great. I did more than 100 cars, by the way. And it's like, I want to build a truck. What about next? Some pink thing. Okay, well, now what? It's just like, building a jeepney to a police car is a lot more different than a Panzer II to a Crusader, Regardless of whether or not you play the game. This half track was so ugly. Looks like you spray painted it or something. It looks pretty fucking good, man. I know you agree. It looks really good. It looks really good. The Ram looks good too. What's written on the front of the Ram? Like some kind of runes or something? I think that looks excellent. small jewelry chains. By the way, it was Asian 30 when I went to Trader Joe's. There were a lot of Asian girls there waiting for you. Problem is, you're 4 states away. Now, I was in and out of that store, and no, I tried to get back as soon as possible. I would come back, went by, visited the mom and my brother for a little bit, and then I'm like, okay. Then get back to knocking some stuff out. Now, this is a little weird because it's supposed to have 4 lights. Oh, we've got a thingy here. Asian Joe's. I think one thing that's standard about that store is no matter where they put one, parking is a disaster. I think they put it in like strip malls, like there's like no parking. Like it isn't a problem, and then they put it in there. And it's like a really popular store. I mean, they got pretty good products, and they can, some of their things can be inexpensive because they don't have a middleman. It's not like it goes through some distributor. I think they just distribute the stuff themselves. You can pass the cost on the savings on to the consumer. All right, we're gonna do. Oh, forgot something. This thing's got big old headlamps down here too. Okay. Yeah, it's super satisfying working on these vehicles. Especially if you get something that's just destroyed. All right, and this is made of compound. Let me see. (1982) Mustang front. Yeah, it definitely has compound lights. So before I do that, I'm going to divide these lights in half. Vertically. Man, what am I shaking? Probably wasn't rested. Okay. Now we're going to do that. Now we're going to do those as 4 lights individually. I was going to say, that half-track vehicle. One of the first things if you're going to put that big old gun on it, first thing I thought of is call it half-cocked. But it could be a tracked vehicle. It doesn't have to act like it's tracked. First of all, it's not fully tracked, right? So it's just doesn't really matter. No, no cars there. No, no. Where do you shop? Wherever they've got toys at. What's the grocery chain that they have in Texas? You have Kroger's there? And I did go, by the way, I did go to Five and Below. Nothing. They didn't have it there. There's this. There's some specifically that one guy like announced about a month ago that he had gone to Five and Below, and they had some cars that had like some came with some optional parts. And there's some Chinese branded cars, and they were like Volkswagen Beetles or Carmen Gias or something like that. I forgot what the hell exactly it was, but they had like optional parts that looked like it would be good. I'm like, all right, well, I'll go check that out. I went to Dollar Tree that's right next to it. Didn't have anything there. Nothing I hadn't seen before. You know, they HEB. I think I would really like it. Well, they don't have one here. They pay their employees really well. It's family owned, and the place is always crazy clean. That's a big plus for me in grocery stores, or a grocery store that doesn't stink. You know, that way you can avoid like a Piggly Wiggly or a Winn-Dixie or something like that. Don't want to go to a grocery store that smells like a fish market or a nursing home or both. Yeah, no, we don't have that one there. HEB. I've heard of HEB. The one we would eat at, it was right next to where Historicon was for a few years, is a Wegmans. Man, that place is phenomenal. That's almost like a theme park. That looks phenomenal. I thought this was going to look like it. Okay, so first of all, so the headlamps on this vehicle are rectangular like this, and they have these vertical lines on it. And it's like, dude, it's like two separate lights on each side. So let me split them in half. I do a little bit of cleanup on one. Look at that. This thing's got like zany freaking colors though, man. That almost like gives you a headache. Like that one guy that has this would be like this would be on that team. There's another guy that other than 3D Bot Maker, the guy that does the Junkyard Joust stuff. And some of the names for the teams that this guy comes up with are really good. I assume he comes up with them. And he has one team called Ketchup and Mustard. And it's just cars that are red or yellow. It's like all the thing. Like half the cars are red, half the cars are yellow. Ketchup and Mustard. The HEB in Shirts, Texas City, nearby San Antonio, great areas, has a bar and dining. Then they do music, I think on the weekend. Yeah, I love doing that. It just, well, it's fun to do, and then when it turns out well, there's your reward. Oh, man, this is fun to do, but every time we do it, it turns out like shit. Fuck, I don't want to do those things, Not exactly a good reinforcement. Let's see where the picture of the actual car is. And Mustang front. Okay, it looks like we're going to have to get this color back out again. Whatever this weirdo yellow is. Freak show yellow. Actually looks like a car that a clown would come out of and go, after he slams into you. All right, I'm gonna do a no-no. I can't reach that. I'll just have to glue it back on again. I backed myself into a corner. So let's put a little bit of black in this. Shit happens, Now, there is a Ford logo there. That was definitely the right move. Just ripping the thing off. Now we're going to go ahead and paint the Ford logo. So it's oval-like. Let's get our Ford blue. This is almost perfect. Oh, now it's wet. There's only one thing that scares me about the Jeepney. The Jeepneys I've seen all have like themes. Like they've got one of them had like the Virgin Mary on it. I'm not going to paint a Virgin Mary in this. I mean, I don't have 27 hours to devote to this Jeepney. I'm sure I'll figure it out as I go. I think we'll do the Jeepney. I should do the Jeepney next, right? It'd be cool. It'd be cool. get a little bit of white. And we're just going to have some kind of a scribble in the middle. A driver smoking a cigarette while a sign is next to him saying no smoking. So the rules don't apply to them. They're like their own commandos. They're okay. Well, I actually might have an idea. You said sign, and I'm glad you did. I have an idea. Yeah, baby. Now, let's glue that gun back on. Go to Gluelandia. Put this blue back. Yeah, the jeepney. Rules are for thee, not for me. You see the Kobe Bryant jeepney along with religious ones and Marvel superheroes. Are there any black people in the Philippines? Other than, pasted on the side of a jeepney? You never went to that Battleship. I don't know if you can go to Battleship Island. Out there in the middle of the harbor. It's like a defense thing that looks like a battleship, but it's a concrete gun emplacement, but it looks like a concrete battleship. Oh, that's like perfect. Kobe Bryant jeepney. All right, well, we're doing the jeepney next, and we're switching out the wheels. Okay, we're gonna switch out the wheels. They need to be a little bit more rugged. All right. Jeepney paint ideas. They're like individual people's. Taxis, right? You were talking with a black guy once while at a bank in Manila. He was ex-Air Force. You found him! Oh, there's some... Oh, here's one that has SpongeBob all over it. SpongeBob and In God We Trust. The thing I like to go see is that 20-foot long croc skeleton. Man, these are very colorful. Boy mechanic. It's got some kid on the side of it. You're a little confused by the rules. If the cap for a match is 25 or 27 cans, how does a heavy truck fit in that 25 cans without weapons? Oh no, there isn't. So what I'm doing is I'm doing the 27 point category and like 35, and then more than that. So when I'm making it, it's like, you get a 27 point vehicle and a 35 pointer, or two 27s and one 35, just for balancing against the other car things. But I know what happened is I think the first time we played, okay, everybody gets 50 points. And you can either design one car or two. Everybody designed one car that had like all this shit and a minigun. Like everybody just spent all this time designing a car and they all ended up being the same as all the other ones. Okay, let's look at the rear of this bastard. And we used Scarlet. So we're not going to use Scarlet now. We're going to use flat red. Flat ass red. Honestly, I think what I like what they did here. I liked what they did with this jeepney. And that is the base color is going to be like silver. So I think that's what I'm going to do. We're going to build it first, then prime it, and then paint it. And we're probably going to use spray paint. So fuck it, let's do it live. The Thriller from Manila. What am I looking for? Oh, I never did get to the rear. Getting excited about the jeepney here. Okay, 1982 Mustang rear. Okay. All right, so I'll leave a little spot for the backup lights. Actually, it's more like an 83. It's more like an 83 like this. You learn a good technique with this truck. Dry brush gold and then dry brush silver. It comes out pretty cool. Yeah, mixing the metals? Absolutely. You know, the secret of dry brushing is don't dry brush one color. The more different levels you do, the more complex it becomes. And that can be a good thing. All right, we're going to do dark red with this. Okay, so we're going to come in here. Let's make everything here dark red. What is the wrap around the corners? Also dark red. Okay, cool. All right, now we'll brighten this red a little bit more. We're done with that. This is a brush that's seen better days. We actually went to a Filipino restaurant a couple of years ago, and it was kind of like our experience with the Indian restaurant. We didn't know what to fucking order. You know, it's like if you show me pictures, you know. Have I made a buggy class? Oh yeah, a lot. It's a great class. And I've made vehicles that are 27 points as buggies, and I've made vehicles that are 13 points that are as buggies. Hippie-ki-yay is a buggy. There's a lot. I have a lot of buggies. Well, I probably have 6 buggies. Cars are the most common. Cars, trucks are the most common. Then probably performance cars. I was working on this morning to see if how I could do that rocket truck to see if I could make it a drag racer maybe, but I'm not sure. I thought about it, and I think when the time comes, you just do it and figure it out as you go. The only thing that would have really tempted me to buy if I found it in the store is they make like this car hauler set for Hot Wheels. So it comes with like a truck and a trailer, and the trailer is it's also hard to find a trailer that's a reasonable size that has dually wheels in the back. It's almost like a single axle in the back, and they probably do that because they're going to roll a lot better down the track. Because remember, Hot Wheels are really made to go on tracks. I mean, it might be like a toy or something. I've never had any track myself, but even as a kid, I didn't have that. But I think that's one of the reasons for it. And I forgot what the hell I was going to say. Having a seedier moment. No, I can't have those for another month. Oh, there's a car hauler. So they make one that has like a Mercedes, like one of those Gull Wing cars, from like the early 60s. Maybe they're even late 50s. They do a different one, and they make a Ferrari one that's all red. And that'd be like a perfect like war wagon for like the Italians. Okay, so the middle color is orange. So let's get the orange out here. Really want to do a drag racer, but I want a vehicle that normally wouldn't be a drag racing vehicle. What would a vehicle that would not be a normal drag racing vehicle be? I mean, it depends how absurd you want it to be. I gotta remember I got that Asian truck, the one with the meow meow on it. I just need to wake up. I'm a little like groggy. Last thing I want to do is freaking go to sleep. Making the armored car a drag racer. Well, it could work, except, the problem with it. Well, you weren't on this morning when I was trying to, like, figure out with the drag racing. The problem with the drag racing is if it flips, if it's a drag racing type vehicle and it misses a flip, where it would normally take 2 damage, it explodes. And it explodes as a heavyweight vehicle. Because that's what I was thinking about doing with this truck. Because it's got 2 huge freaking engines on it. And the base damage it can take is only 4. Which is, let's just say, excruciatingly light. Yeah, that armored car looks cool. For sure. So you just had those things sitting in the garage, huh? Were they yours, or? Still got leftovers of whatever the hell this is right here. There we go. See a box of old Army men from when you were a kid. Well, I've never seen that truck before. Or that half tracker. I guess technically it's a half track. For the paper tiger, I got to get a figure that's poking his head out, and I got to see if I can have a guy that has a rice picker hat. That'd be perfect. You know, a coolie. Yeah, it would. It totally would. I bet I could. I bet I have one. But I don't want to use like a good Japanese figure. You know what I mean? I think I got some. I got some figures that are pretty. I just don't know what the hell this thing would be armed with. All right. Let's come in with this and a little bit of white. And there's a portion here that is brighter than the rest of it. And it's underneath both of those lights. I don't know what color will make this license plate area. Let's just paint it gray. Let's just paint it gray and move on. I got some plastic Japanese figures though. Cat looks all right. That looks good. I need to paint this bomb in something now. It's going to be an oil bomb. So I think what I'm going to do is let me get a brown out here. Maybe one that's kind of having a brown out. I gotta go to the bathroom. Why? I'm having a brown out. Let me get myself some more tea. Actually, technically, this is purple drank. They closed that place. There was a rap inspired restaurant, fast service restaurant in St. Petersburg Beach. I don't know my rappers, so I want to say it had Biggie Smalls all over it. And it was called Faux Cheesy. And it was actually a pretty freaking cool place. Now, I'm not into rap music at all, but it was a cool looking place. The food was just too greasy. It was more like faux greasy. Let's see if I can find pictures of it. The place was really kind of cool. Faux Cheesy, St. Pete. Now, they went down to a food truck. This is what the place looked like on the outside. And on the inside, it's a cool place. There's all kinds of wrapper stuff. There's like a gold AK where you pay for your food. And it was just like, it was too unhealthy. You know, it was like a super messy sandwich. And they had a lot of it, and they were all grilled cheese type things. And one of the things they had you could get is purple drink. Yeah, here it is. Give me a menu. Oh man, I should probably make some freaking cars based on some of these things. Triple OG, Mac and Rib, Jukebox Gyro, Sloppy Jose, Buffalo Mother Clucker, War Pig, Big Papa, Cheesy Caprese, Cluck Norris, Soul Brother, as in Seul Brother. That is a good name for a Korean car. Soul Brother. Krusty Guido. Hot Mess. That's my dog. Backdraft beef chili. Man, that tells you what's going to happen next. Look out for that backdraft beef chili. My boy Blue. Pucker Up. What the hell's Pucker Up? Oh, it's a salad. It's a greens. Look, and even this is purple drink. Very hip. I felt out of place there too, but not everybody there was a rapper. I just don't know, Doughboys, Damn Skippy, Give Me Some More. Hand spun shakes. They had Tahitian vanilla, dark side, go shorty, half baked, and butterface. Butterface. Man, that chick is hot. Butterface. This is a cool place. And we would have eaten there again. It was just too messy, and it was like super like unhealthy. It was like too buttery. I don't know if I could explain that to you. It was just too buttery. They just needed to like make it less buttery, and it would like very cool. Yeah, they downsized to just a food truck. People that have like rent and stuff like that, man, rents on restaurants are ridiculous. It was right across the street from this hotel that we're staying on in St. Pete Beach. I'm like, oh, we got to go there. Faux cheesy. Well, the big turd launcher. I named all those things. I don't remember which one I had. and they were playing all kinds of rap music that I don't know what the hell it is. And my daughter would probably say, it's not rap music, it's hip hop. Same thing. Not my sort of thing. But I'd go there again. It's just a little bit on the, one of those things that you eat and you're like, man, am I going to get like breakout and like zits all over my face from all the oil and stuff that's on it? Well, I need to wait for that to like dry a little bit. I feel like this frame around it isn't right. I feel like the frame is just out of place. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to darken this yellow a little bit. And we're going to paint the frame around it in this yellow. And have it tie back into the color of the car a little bit. Definitely looks better. Let's bring this up a little bit. Not get too crazy. You go too far and then you gotta, then dial it back down. You gotta repaint everything. When you had a kid, you had a tire-shaped carrying case for your Hot Wheels cars. I totally would have gotten one of those, but they just roll around like crazy. I actually got one from the dollar store that was, wait for it, $1, and it's like useless. You start adding rams and things like that, and they don't fit in there. I like the concept of that, but I don't know how many cars I had as a kid, but I don't think it was more than like 12. Let's just say I have a lot more than 12 now. But like you said, I am knocking them out. And I'm enabling other people to buy a bunch of toys too. That's actually much better. That's much better. There we go. Use the Force, Tony. Guess that was a Japanese Jedi. Tony, use the Force. You had a bunch of knockoff ones, a kid that would come with those wheel carrying case. Yeah, I came really close to getting a monster truck, but they're too damn big. The wheels are like massive. And they don't take a lot of damage. So What do we call this thing? Disgustang. Yeah, it's pretty nasty. Probably owned by somebody who's hasn't showered yet. You mean today? Yeah, go with that. Yeah, these people that go to game conventions and stuff, they don't shower. Like, I gotta shower every day at least once. I prefer to shower in the evenings. Anytime I'm gonna change clothes, I'm gonna shower. I don't want to like put on new clothes now. Like I've been outside. I mean, why would I do that? All right, and we're gonna lighten this up with white. A little bit more white. Let's get some ultra contrast here. A little shine. Now, we're going to take this metal that's on here because the only metal color that's on that launcher is the darkest metal of all. Now, I don't want to do the super aluminum one, but we could bring it up to like this one right here. This oily steel, which not very oily. Yeah, the whole point is make every vehicle catch your eye so you can't, so that it'll be fun to play with. Give every vehicle, fun. Not like don't just make some that are cool. They all have to be cool. It's like, man, this is a weird color, but when I get to use it, I get to talk like some inbred son of a bitch. Perfect. See, there's a good angle. You say jeepney drivers are crazy? Like super aggressive? I know, there's probably some that are calm, but I think that looks pretty good. I think that looks pretty good. The Disgustang. I have seen those. And I haven't gotten those accessories because of how much they cost to ship them here to the United States. Let's kill this. It's getting a lot of kickback. I bet they love to hit the horn, don't they? The Disgustang. All right. What do we call this? The Manila who? Manila Massacre? I think Manila Massacre. I don't have a massacre thing. It just needs to be really aggressive. First of all, it has a cool ass engine here. That's a plus. So, let's tear this bitch apart. What are we going to use for that? Let's use this. It's super handy to have this little drill thing in here. And we're going to replace the bottom of it. We're not going to use these wheels. Those wheels are probably good for a brotherly mobile. Yeah, the shipping they look outstanding. They look outstanding, especially because there's some that are obviously 50 cals. There's some that are obviously MG42s or something like that. But like, $12 shipping, $24 for a sprue. I'm not saying I'm not going to get it. It's just not very appealing, right? Like, I'm not in a hurry to spend that kind of money. Filipinos love car horns. They have their own language and beeping. Okay. Let's get some jeepney. Manila Massacre. I put a Ram on a vehicle in a long time. And it's not because they suck. Actually, they're a bit overpowered. Because the thing is like, whenever your weapons become activated, the only thing you have to do to other people is ram them. So, if you get outrammed, you can have all the guns in the world, but, if you get knocked out by somebody else's ram, you're kind of fucked. All right. How we doing battery on this, by the way? Still 4 dots. The switch out of these bits is just like freaking awesome. Awesome quick. Saw someone make Gaslands barrels for the part that holds an eraser on a pencil. Yeah, I saw those too. They look pretty good. Should be able to pop with a little bit of effort. There's an old screwdriver I have around here. Well, this would probably work. I don't want to punch it all the way through because when you do, it kind of goes out of control a little bit. Yeah. And then we'll do the same thing on the front. It's tighter on that side. Got it. I don't want to fuck up the front of this. Perfect. Where's my ancient tool? This thing. This is literally older than I am. Let's remove this. Okay, that's the jeepney body. What do we got inside? We got an engine. And we got these wheels here. Now, these wheels are going to be a problem because they're hidden underneath there. So what do I have that's about a similar size, but more Kanabi-ish? Let's, and I'm probably not going to use the glass at all. Now, probably not. And they have to be the same size. They're not going to fit in there. I bet from the ones from the Land Rover will work just fine. They're a little bit, the one in the front smaller. I bet they will. Let's take the ones out of the Land Rover. Let's do this the lazy way. See if I don't get bit in the ass. Let's just do one. Let's just go to the big one. Didn't get bit in the ass. Okay, pop this out. Let's not bend this. Where's an X-Acto knife? Yeah, I'd much rather do this here. I'm more comfortable. I can see a lot better. And okay, I know you're here. That's a stupid place. Stupid place for that to go. All right, let's clean this up again. And this even looks like the wheels on some Jeepneys. This is a Matchbox Land Rover, by the way. Probably not going to use the bottom of it, but I think every one of those has been cannibalized. Does that have a separate tire on the back? It does. It does. I can put that separate tire on the back of the vehicle, on the back of the Jeepney. All right. That popped easily. See if we can slide this one on. I think we're going to have to remove that little tab. You can at least allow us to check and see if it fits. And then do the same thing with a single one here. And this goes. It likes to slide in and out like something fierce. Okay. Stay there. I want to make sure that it fits in there. In there. Okay. Now, this gets held in place by this exerting pressure on it. And then we put this on top of it. And it looks a hell of a lot better. Looks a hell of a lot better than those damn other wheels. The only thing is these axles stick out farther. Now, let me go look at my things here. I have rivets or armored plate or something like that. Okay, I'm not too concerned about that. This is looking good. Now, as far as not having any plastic in here, we're going to lose the front windshield, which I may want to keep. I don't think I want this entire thing. And this has like a whole back that doesn't have it. So maybe I can't remove this per se. All right, let's design this thing. All right, where's my little? I bought some more of these things. I much prefer to use this than the other stuff. And the question is, where do I leave them? The little post-it notes. Let's see. The two cars I did were here. Yeah, who knows where the hell the post-it notes ended up. All right, we'll use a pad of paper. It's not a big deal. They'll turn up eventually. And here's the cars. Okay. Manila Massacre. Ice cream truck. Ice cream truck vehicle class. Come on. You can do it. Okay, an ice cream truck is middleweight, hull 10, handling 2, max gear 4, crew 2, build slots 2, cost 8. Okay, so it is an 8. It has 2 build slots, crew 2. What is it? Max gear. Max gear 4. Handling 2. That's pretty poor, but it is a really low cost, and it is going to have a RAM. Okay, so it's going to have a RAM. So the RAM's going to be 4 points, and it's going to use one of the build slots. So we have one build slot for a weapon. I feel like we need to double the crew. I feel like we need to add 4 crew members. And that's what you can do. You can do the crew and you can double it. Each guy costs 4. So, plus 2 crew is 4 points. Because we only have one build slot, and the vehicle itself, we've used 12, we've used 16. So we still have 11 points, and only one build slot to throw it on. Okay, so let's go over to. It's probably not going to have a turreted weapon, so we could save like 5 points for that. So we basically could do like 11 points of 11 points of perks or things like that, or So let's go over here and go to perks around here. Let's go to Reckless first. Drive Angry. Now, Hog Wild. During a collision involved wipeout step, this vehicle gains plus 2 smash out dice. Okay, but this is a collision that is resolved during a wipeout step. So it basically has to, like, get too many hazards that causes it to wipe out. So basically go down to 0. And when it does that move, if it crashes into somebody at that point, then it gets 2 plus smash dice. That's like a really strange situation. Like, a lot of things have to go right for that to happen. In for a penny. If this vehicle has gained 6 or more hazard tokens during this activation, it may double the attack dice of any smash attack it makes for the remainder of this activation. Well, that's good, but it only has 2 handling dice. So you're only going to be able to gain 2 every turn. Don't come knocking. The vehicle. This activation may gain 4 hazard tokens. If it does, this vehicle cannot gain or lose any hazard tokens by any means until the start of its next activation. It's middleweight. So bigger than you, doubling any smash attack bonuses isn't going to help unless you're attacking lightweight vehicles. And very few vehicles are lightweight. Are the drivers alcoholics? Because we could give it Berserker. When this vehicle would suffer damage outside of its activation, reduce that damage by 1 to a minimum of 1. But that's 5 points. That's a lot. You've never known any. Okay, maybe we'll skip that one. How about give it a hot start? That only costs 1 point. And you have a chance to start in a higher gear than 1. That's actually a really good value thing. Okay, there's a skill here that's more maneuverable or something where you get an extra handling dice. That might be handy. Okay, it's not going to have any technology. It's not going to have tuning. Let's go the other direction. It's not going to have outrun. Taunt. At the start of this vehicle's attack step, roll a skid die. If you roll something other than a shift result, you may place that skid dice. Yeah, but it's within short range. That's short range, like you basically got to be like touching. I mean, it can ram somebody, and then it's touching, so it won't get a chance to attack them. So you could do that. Expertise. This vehicle adds 1 to its handling value. What's that, 3? Where are we at right here? Well, we already have these thing here, so this is another hot start and expertise would give us 4 more, so now we're at 20. I think that's probably okay. I think that's probably all right. So it'll be max gear 4 handling 3. So what's its main weapon gonna be? Well, let's see what it should look like. Oh, we need a ram. Okay. No. Nope. No. The name's Massacre. It needs to be an aggressive fucking ram. Like something like this. But maybe not that one. This one. Look at this. What in the orc and mork? That's not bad. That's not bad. What else looks like a massacre? The other orky one. I need to get this thing aligned again. Come on. Stop being a pain in the ass. Okay. That's not bad. Where's this one? Ooh, I think I actually like this one better. We'll have to cut the back of this down so it fits a little tighter. Because remember, it's mostly going to be metal colored. This is going to look a lot better metal colored than a lot of other things. 79 degrees cool. Oh, it warmed up. I think that's our candidate right there. I think that's our candidate right there. Okay? So that's our RAM. I do have a little ice cream man guy. I wonder if I could put him as the driver. I mean, he looks curiously Filipino. I'll take you a picture of it. He looks like he's wearing something like a Filipino person would wear. I don't know. He's not standing up, though. Let me show you a picture of him. See what you think. You're the Filipino expert. He almost has an Asian-looking face. Use it? I think so. I really think so. We got to give him a name. If we put a guy in there, he's got to have a name. My guys that are the crew have a name. I got Herb, right? The guy with the freaking tie-dye dude. And I got Dirty Dan, the backdoor man. He's the guy with the AK. Let's see. If we put this guy in here. Oh, shit. I think this is going to work. Getting excited. Yay! Okay, what's the problem here? We need to cut out his lower back. We take his lower back. And you want to know the good news about this figure? Every delivery car like this comes with one of these guys inside. Just send me a pic when it comes time for the tank. Bonus points if you can identify the tank. Oh, challenge accepted. All right, let me do the first things first. Let me go over to. Well, if it was your Ben, if it was your Filipino vehicle, you would be Benito. All right, let's see what we got. Oh, that's a Panzer IV. What kind of stuffed animal is this? It looks like a freaking monkey or a bear with white face on it. Well, it is a Nazi crew, so. It's either a G or a H. Depends. Is there a slide door? No. It's either a G or an H. It's either a late H or an early G. I'm sorry, a late G or an H. Oh, circa 1945. Okay, well it's probably an H. Probably no G's surviving anymore. Might even be a J. It has no. It has no Zimrit. I put my money on a J. Oh, there's more than one picture. Okay. No Zimrit in 45. My money would be on a J. Now, this guy's here with his boyfriend. Artillery observation variant. Modifications include a Stug 3 cupola and extra periscopes and radios. You know, now that you mention it, that's definitely a different cupola. That's a low one, so you don't get your head blown off. All right, let's see if we can get this guy to fit in here. Oh, almost. What's hitting? God, this thing is slippery as hell. That's how you get injured. Oh, he's wafer thin. Are Filipinos wafer thin? Compared to fat Americans, yes. All right, so I'm going to have to do some trickery. All right, let's fire the hot glue gun up. You can do it. Yeah, compared to us. Really? Insolent thing. All right. So what I'm going to do is when I glue this thing down, I'm going to actually cut off this axle. I'm going to cut off this thing because it's too wide. And I don't want the wheels being like way the hell out here. It won't work. It won't work in the rear part here. I would have to cut this. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Where's the other wheels here? Yeah, if I extended this out, the wheels would end up being past the chassis. And you're going to end up seeing the axle that's wafer thin. Or maybe not. Man, I could cut. No, I'd have to cut it as big as the damn wheel. That's going to leave like. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. All right. Bandit. It's like looks like a bookmobile or something like that with like books on it, like little end of books or. All that's going to get covered over. All right, so how am I going to get this to work? Let's see. Push this in. Hope I don't fuck this up. Damn, what the hell is this made out of? Ding! Okay, that actually works pretty well. That actually works pretty well. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Now, if you had to make the wheels turn, well, you'd have to buy some of that aftermarket shit. And that seems like a waste of money. All right. Now we don't have the center of those axles sticking all the way the hell out. But unfortunately, God, I'm telling you, there's like very little tolerances on this. Now I need to remove this because it's being pushed up. Yeah, I think that's where it's supposed to sit. That's good. All right. And once we're sure, This thing's gonna be awesome. Awesome. I hope. Oh, we never decided what kind of a weapon it's gonna have. Well, if I put it at turreted, it could be a machine gun, but it could be turreted. We put a turreted machine gun on it. We got this spot at the top. I could just paint this solid and put a machine gun up there. What kind of turreted machine guns do I have on there? I've got 4 guys, so you're gonna be able to shoot pistols. Just a little machine gun, man. Nothing. Not a fucking laser. I don't have any that come in that set. So, let's go in the machine gun set here. Man, I could put a hole in this, attach this to the roof, put a hole in it. I just don't have a crew guy that can fire this. And then we have this sitting on the roof. How we doing here? Yeah, I know we glued a little bit, but that's not a problem. It keeps all the wheels flat. That's a bigger issue when that doesn't happen. Okay, I think we're good here. Dull as shit. This stuff is really resistant to being grinded on because it's got some flexibility to it. Yeah, it does. I almost picked up a Centurion. They had a Centurion at the dollar store, but it was really undersized. And I'm not super motivated to do tanks because they're just kind of generic. Let's see how the fit is on this. This Orca Morca looking thing. Did we cut it too much? Wow, I would have never thought that could have been an issue. All right. I didn't really think it needed that. It doesn't really need that. It can rest there and there. I know how I'm going to attach that. But I need to make sure this needs to be closed up. And I can't close this thing up because there's all kinds of orange hell in there. Now, can I put the sides on? Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Okay. Let's get this the little flipping guy here. All right, let's cut his legs off a little bit. Aren't I amputee enough? Nope. Not yet. And does he have like a popsicle? He does, but you can't really tell what he has. Oh, something grew between his legs. Huh? I put him down on a hot glue gun and something squished out between his legs, and now he's got a big package. Well, no longer Asian. Now, I'm probably going to paint him like, what are those guys that I have that are really cool? The Bamboo Freight Train folks. Man, I don't remember. Nanjiao. Wow, that's pretty secure for a hot glue gun. Nice. Nice. Like rice. Okay. And this is going to be on the front. And we're going to take some of these. I thought they were in here. They are. Let's get the tweezers out. And there's some here too. Oh, I only have one corrugated one? Well, son of a bitch. That's what I wanted to put on here. Like close this thing up with like some corrugated metal. Remember, this whole thing is going to be painted metal color. We're going to start. Look at that. It aligns perfectly with the inside. All right. Well, I got two of these. Nope. I got another corrugated one. Yes, and they're both vertical. Awesome. I think corrugated metal would look great there. Your cat's flipping out because it's 15 minutes before dinner. Yeah, something like that. And then we'll put mesh. I do want to keep that window there. I want to keep that window there because if I don't keep that window there, and I want to keep the roof. All right, this thing is asking for this to be on it. I think this might be the perfect weapon. And we'd call it a minigun, right? It's two heavy machine guns. We'd call it a minigun. Look at that. That fits perfectly on the roof. That needs to be there. They're not made for this thing. This thing's actually really cool. It's like a tray that has a couple of machine guns on there. And the problem is it looks awesome. They look like just futuristic. Not too futuristic. But the tray is so damn long that it's so hard to fit on so many vehicles. And here, it fits on there perfectly. So that's going to go on the roof. This ram's going to be on the front. We're going to put this corrugated, the whole thing is going to be painted, well, it's going to be painted black. And then we will paint it metal, and then we'll, I'm really going to enjoy this little bastard right here. Okay, we need both of these things. Okay. So let's do step by step. What are the issues that we can see? We don't need this anymore. We'll save that for another day. Everything gets saved for another day. Things don't get thrown away. We're going to hot glue gun this thing on the front, and it'll fit in there just fine. So, painting-wise, and we're going to use spray paint. Painting-wise, we want to remove... Oh man, I gotta figure out the critical path here. I can't paint it closed up because some of the orange that's in there is going to show. But I don't need to paint anything in detail. So what I'm going to do is, and this doesn't need to be painted because even if this has a solid back, I can hand paint that part in black. So I'm going to spray paint this and all of this. Not worry about these parts right now. Black. And I'll be right back. That's what we're going to do. Oh, okay, I'll be right back, folks. Okay, that was challenging and went well at the same time. The reason it was challenging is you couldn't just hold the spray can. By the way, it wasn't too stinky. But that's going to get a good, like, it's going to dry quicker than the primer, and it should hold on a little. It should hold on pretty well. But it was tricky because all I could just go, you know, at points. I guess technically this needs to be painted black. One thing at a time. Maybe this whole thing needs to be... Shit. Okay. I need to get a piece. I need to go ahead and spray paint this too. Well, let's just go back to it. We'll just let's take it in baby steps. We don't want to overshoot. We want this thing to look nice. Yeah, this is that Transit one that was... It's a Ford Transit. You can even see it has a Ford logo. It's almost like it looks similar to like a Ford Escort. A Ford Focus. And we're going to keep the graphics on that. Yeah, switching out the tires isn't too bad with the hot glue gun. I mean, the hot glue gun doing all the heavy lifting. Makes things a heck of a lot easier than I would have thought. It only took me, 30 fucking years of making these things to get a hot glue gun. You do anything else to the bomb? Yeah, that looks pretty good. Considering what it looked like before. That looks like trash. Perfect. That's what we want. That's what we want it to look like. Like trash. Better late than never. That's right. That's right. Yeah, but this is like perfect. This is perfect to go on the top of this. This is such a good thing. And what we'll do is this is going to be a minigun. It's going to act like a minigun, but it's two machine guns. Two machine guns linked, but it's really only one. So call it whatever the hell you want. Minigun, 5. Okay, and we still have 2 points left. So it's an ice cream truck with a ram with additional 2 crew members. So there's 4 crew in there with a hot start, expertise, which adds extra maneuvering, and a minigun to the front. And maybe 2 points for something else. And it's going to look cool. So we're going to glue these metal pieces. It's going to be a little bit of rattle trap looking. What's Pinoy mean? Isn't that one of those Japanese, what do you call those things? Well, Filipino things? Pinoy meaning. Informal, affectionate term to refer to a Filipino person to describe aspects of Filipino culture, food, and identity. Pinoy. Pinoy. That's what they call themselves? Pinoy boy. Philippine boy names. I want something that's specifically not, Jacob, Nathaniel, no. Gabriel, no. Bagwis, meaning wing in Tagalog. Bayani. It's a perfect name for your little hero since it means just that. Crisanto. See, I like that one because it's like Spanish, but not. It's kind of like Esperanto. Joselito. Well, Joselito sounds too much like, a Mexican type thing. Okay, I want something that starts with a P. And P. Any of these names start with a P? Okay. Philippine boy names start with a P. Male, yes. Nothing else is jumping out at me. All right, let's see if the stuff's ready. Yeah, I'm impatient. I want to fucking build it. It's supposed to wait 24 hours. Fuck that shit. This is America. So here's the bad news. I had black spray paint, but it was satin. So it's going to look wet when it isn't wet. Or is it wet? Exactly. One of those things. Now, the little boy driver needs to be, well, he can't be a boy, because these guys are criminals. Everybody on every team is, it's not like guys accidentally show up and it's like, oh, yeah, will you drive me to the death race? No, they're like people that, deserve to die. They just happen to be from the Philippines. Hold on, lady, we going for a ride. Not Filipino. Okay. It's a little sticky. This here. Here's our little Pinoy boy in there. I'm going to paint him, but I don't care about painting the interior. It's going to be like closed up, but he's going to be visible enough. Otherwise, I wouldn't have put him in there. And there's a little bit of orange showing. I mean, you can't, that's the problem with using a spray can. You're going to miss spots. This thing's fun. This thing's gonna be phenomenal. This thing's gonna be phenomenal. I got the feeling. And there's a little sign up here like where it's going to, That might be a good place to put Pinoy Boy on it or something. Lumpia Lad on the other guy. The Lumpia Lad. Yeah, I don't know if I don't know if I need the front window. Let's see, if we don't have the front window. We're okay. We're okay if we don't have the front window. We need the back because there's no back to the damn thing. And this is what I love about this thing. Because the build time on these is so short, I didn't know that I was going to do the jeepney this morning. And that's cool. Like, you can kind of wing it a little bit. Nah, I'll keep it. I'll keep the front glass on that. I'll keep the front glass on that. All right. So that means, can we start assembling this? No, because we got to paint our little dude. That's a problem I hadn't counted on. That I don't want to get bogged down on painting him. So maybe the way forward is not glue it together. But then I can't put the front of this thing. God bless it. All right. What if I glue this together? Okay. That allows me to glue this because it's not laying on any of that. You know, some things just gotta wrap your head around this one. And let's put this down to make sure that we don't glue it to anything that goes on this. And then we'll just glue this afterwards. That's I think the way forward. It's actually really wide. Okay, it can rest there and it can rest there. And if it rests on those two spots, we should be good. All right, then let's eliminate even more of this. So yeah, I forgot that. I guess technically this is an Asian devastation car. I just don't think the Philippines is Asia. I know that's stupid, but I don't. I mean, I don't really think of India as Asia. You know, India's like India. There's enough things going on in India, like it needs another category. You know? What I like about making these, besides the point you just made, is that decisions don't matter as much as they do on a model or ancient. Yeah, it's just you can kind of wing it. It's like you're just... I mean, I love it. It's like, I don't know what I'm going to work on tomorrow. Maybe it's this guy. Maybe it's a police car. It's a beautiful thing, you know? I have hundreds of vehicles and they're all worth doing. And like, this is significantly different than building this, you know, the Disgustang. Yeah, sometimes it's a little bit of challenging, but it's kind of like a puzzle. You got to like, all right, well, how can we do this? What You know, what's the critical path? What order do we have to do things in so we don't... I don't think this is going to be very helpful. What if I use a bigger drill bit? What about this roundy one? It just isn't doing much to it. Not really sure what the hell's causing this thing to spin around like a kite. When you take a kite to the beach and it starts spinning, it's like it's not going to stay airborne. Okay, I think we're going to leave that as is. It's not going to be... I mean, you are one resistant son of a bitch. Alright, I think we can leave that alone. Okay, and I think this can stay closed. We don't need to open this up for anything. Okay, so likewise, this can be glued on those two spots there. We should be able to use super glue. It's going to attach here for sure. And this stuff's still sticky. So I don't know if the spray can's old or something. I mean, we're going to make the best of it. I think it's better to do it what I did than try to prime it. It's just going to fall, you know, the paint's going to fall off, etc. And it just barely has enough clearance for that to sit on there. Well, the nice thing is you get to still see the lights on the Jeepney. Big plus, right? And it shouldn't attach to this part, and it does not. Okay, good. Now, we're definitely going to want this on here. So what we're going to do is I'm going to attach a little bit of super glue here. around this area here. And along the sides there. Luckily, it doesn't matter that I get fingerprints on it. I wonder why it's got so sticky. Probably old. All right. Now, I'm going to take this machine gun and we're going to glue it to here. I think we need more than that. Yeah, I didn't want to spray it too far away because I didn't want it to go everywhere. I didn't go outside. So that one's on me. But it won't matter because by the time we clear coat it and everything, and like I said, you're making a damaged vehicle, so it'll be fine. I just wasn't expecting that. Couldn't tell you the last time I used spray paint. Okay. Now, if I didn't have our little Pinoy boy in there, then I wouldn't do it this way. But I want it to look like there's a little guy in there. You know. Okay, next thing up, the armor plates. So let's lose this. You know, as a crew of 4, we're not going to model every single fucker in there. Okay, it's only the driver. You know, being like a martyr. Like, why did I sign up for modeling all these people on there? No, you only need to do the driver. Okay, so we want this like so. Well, the nice thing is I can actually leave it there. And then this one would be like so as well. Okay, that looks pretty good. And the back will paint it black and leave the green window where it's at. So you have a little green window at the front and a little green window at the back. Of course, the whole top will be solid. And this is all one piece, is it not? Yes. So, oh. What a fucking puzzle. All right, let's get the primer out here. Some orange down there showing. Very little. Try to be pretty thorough about it. I think it turned out pretty well, other than the stickiness, which I wasn't expecting. It shouldn't be an issue once we clear coat it at the end of the whole process. Ran out of cars, so you've been baking your own. This might not come out that great. Well, have low expectations. And you might actually surprise yourself. This sticky fingers reminds me of when I used epoxy as a kid. I used epoxy to fill in the bottom of some ships. They had I wanted the bottoms of them to be flat, little to 1/2400 scale ships, so I could paint the names of them underneath them. That's what people were doing at the time. What happens if I paint this primer over this? I bet the stickiness will go away. Okay. And might take 2 coats of it. It's not a big deal. Okay, here looks like there's a couple of windows, so we're gonna not paint black over them. We're gonna dry brush the entire thing in metal. And then we'll paint things as we need them. And not because it's sticky. I was gonna do that anyways. Because I see most of them, and most of them look like they're like aluminum. We out? We're out. Well, we don't need more coffee. Damn it, man. No, this one. Yes. Sticky, sticky, sticky. I feel like the driver should be wearing like khakis or something like that. It looks like got like a little khaki, like a khaki, almost like what those what the air crews would have, like in World War II, like a little khaki cap. You know, U.S. air crews. U.S. air crews. This thing's gonna be. I mean, this thing's wicked. This thing's wicked cool. So this open door where our little Pinoy boy is at, I'm gonna leave it open so you can see him. The other side we'll put grating on it. This is asking to have, like, you know, it looks like a little placard of where it's going to or the name of the cab company or something like that. How many people does one of these seat? This thing looks like it could hold like 12 people. Maybe it's just an optical delusion. And I'm probably going to tell you right now, is red seems like a good color. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dry brush this whole fucker in like Iron Warriors. Then I'm going to come in and I'm going to paint the roof like red. So the trim all the way up to the roof like red and still leave the other thing and then work it from there. So we'll have a bright colored roof. I think red's a good color. They never fully stop either to let people off. They just slow down. You get out now. Okay. This. It needs to stay on that wheel well. Oh, that's the problem is... Okay, I can't let it push farther than that, so when we snap it closed, it's not going to be in the way. Oh, shit. Is this a separate piece? That's not a really bad... Oh, shit. It's just a... Yes. Fuck me. Oh. Well, we need to think about how we're going to do this then. No, we'll just run it like that when we glue it. What time is it? We're not going to be able to get this thing done tonight, and that's just fine. The bad news is if I let it dry overnight, it's still going to be sticky. So that's not going to solve anything. We're going to need to glue it like that. So when I pop this thing down, it's not going to be in the way. I want to make sure we don't cover over any of that. And that should be fine. So what I'm going to do is we're going to use the slow acting super glue. Because if I have to adjust it, I'm up that creek. the honey super glue. That's what it behaves like. Like bloody honey. Let's riding up here. Let's see where else is it going to touch. That should do it. Okay, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. All right, where's that corrugated thing? Here it is. Yeah, I'll wait until the end. You know, I'll wait till the end to do a clear coat. It'll be fine. Okay, this is sitting like this. Okay, so let's get this. This honey stuff running. And that also forces me to not have to put some kind of graphics on this corrugated part. Like if it was flat, I'm like, okay, we just paint something. Like, you're not going to paint like the Virgin Mary on the corrugated thing, you know? It's an awful big vehicle. It sure looks like it. Like long. They'd carry like 12 people in there or something like that, or maybe more than that. Now, I don't want to tamper with this, but this needs to be painted over with black. I think what we're going to do is we're going to stop there. We're going to let this stuff that's primered fully dry. And then we don't have to worry about that. I don't know if the top needs a second coat. And honestly, it covered pretty well. And then we'll end up painting that black, dry brush every single thing on it in Iron Warriors. And I'm going to paint the roof red all the way up to this little edge. It looks like it would be something like that, like a taxi. Maybe even the wheel wells also in red, and the area down here in red. So you have red at the top, silver through the middle, red at the bottom. Okay, and then work from that point. I think work from that point. All right, folks. Thanks for stopping by.